As Hurricane Irene threatens the Northeast, we were reminded of one of the biggest storms ever to hit the area. It roared ashore more than 70 years ago, and Elaine Quijano reports some still call it unforgettable.
But none of the Northeast states escaped the fury of the deluge. 500 lost their lives in the disaster.
They never saw it coming. Before FEMA or radar, before storms even had names, the hurricane of 1938 became known as the Long Island Express.
And Long Island bears the brunt of a tropical hurricane that culminates in the worst storm in history.
When the storm barreled over the eastern end of Long Island,
in West Hampton it says 2 Bradley children were missing.
Otis Bradley was only 6 years old. He and his sister Margaret were visiting a beach house directly in the storm's path.
There was no warning, absolutely zero warning.
Otis remembers the grown-ups in the house telling him not to look out the window, so of course he did.
Dark and windy and scary. My sister says that she saw a 50-foot tidal wave.
The Category 3 hurricane made landfall near Bellport, New York, with winds at 121 miles per hour and a storm surge that rushed into the house that Otis and his sister were visiting.
After the water started piling up, we moved up to the 2nd floor and then to the attic. And the men cut a hole in the roof so that if the house got washed away, we could get out.
What do you remember feeling?
Cold and damp and wet and scared.
In the village of West Hampton Beach,
this is the watermark.
Bob Murray of the local historical society showed us just how high the water rose from the storm surge.
8 feet.
A mile inland.
After the hurricane, so few buildings were left standing and there were so many dead, 29 bodies were taken to a makeshift morgue here at the town's country club.
The winds and water were so powerful they changed the landscape, creating the Shinnecock Inlet, which was later reinforced and widened. More than 550 people died. Almost 9,000 homes and buildings were destroyed.
How do you think that sort of shaped you?
Lucky.
Lucky.
But with Irene bearing down on the East Coast,
I'll tell you Monday whether I'm concerned or not.
That's because Otis is planning to ride out this hurricane too. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, West Hampton Beach, New York.